Name brand cleaners. They are the brightly colored bottles of spray and liquid sitting right at eye level in the grocery store aisle. Since the consumer boom of the 1950s, giant companies have spent billions convincing us that their specific mix of soap and water works best. But the truth comes down to basic chemistry. The main job of a cleaner is to break down dirt and kill germs. If you look at the back of a premium bottle of bleach and a cheap store brand, they both list the exact same active ingredient. It is usually something like sodium hypochlorite at the same 5 to 6% concentration. The chemical process is completely identical. The only visible effect is the drain on your wallet. When you buy the premium version, you are just paying a massive markup to cover the cost of their television commercials and fancy packaging. Understanding this matters because buying generic keeps your house just as clean while keeping a lot more money in your pocket over time. Single-use kitchen gadgets. These are highly specific tools designed to do exactly one job, like slicing an avocado or pulling the leaves off a strawberry. In the post-war boom of the 1950s, manufacturers started pushing these novelty items to promise Americans a faster, more modern cooking experience. Today, they make up a massive chunk of the $3 billion domestic kitchen gadget industry. You see an online ad for a banana slicer, spend $15, and toss it in a drawer. But then you actually try to cook. You spend 10 minutes digging through a jammed space just looking for a mango pitter. Your kitchen gets completely cluttered with cheap plastic tools you use maybe once a year, eating up your budget and your counter space. This is why investing $80 in a single, high-quality chef's knife makes much more sense. A sharp knife handles all those hyper-specific tasks effortlessly, keeping your drawers empty and saving you money in the long run. Bulk perishable foods. Wholesale clubs like Costco, which started back in 1983, sell fresh items like giant tubs of spinach, gallon jugs of milk, and huge flats of berries. The main appeal here is the lower price per ounce. You buy in massive quantities, assuming you are stretching your grocery budget. But there's a catch. Unless you have a large family or run a restaurant, you probably cannot eat 3 pounds of strawberries before they turn to mush. The visible effect happens right in your refrigerator. The berries grow white mold, the greens turn into a slimy mess, and the milk goes sour. When you inevitably toss that spoiled food into the trash, those per-ounce savings instantly turn into a net financial loss. In fact, the average American household throws away about $1,500 worth of food every single year. This matters today because true savings only happen when you actually consume what you buy. Bargain mattresses. A bargain mattress is the absolute cheapest bed you can find, usually stuffed with low-density polyurethane foam and basic wire coils. To hit that rock-bottom price, manufacturers have to cut corners on the materials inside. Mass-produced innerspring beds revolutionized sleep back in the late 19th century, but today's extreme budget versions degrade quickly. When you sleep on one every night, your body weight constantly crushes those cheap, airy foam cells. Because the foam lacks density, it simply cannot bounce back. Within just 3 to 5 years, you will see a massive sag right in the middle of the bed. You wake up with an aching back, and you might even feel the hard metal springs poking through the thin fabric cover. You end up dragging it to the curb and buying another cheap bed. Replacing a budget mattress 3 times over 10 years ultimately costs you much more than just buying one supportive, high-quality bed up front, making that initial bargain a terrible deal for your wallet. Pre-cut produce. These are those plastic tubs of diced onions, sliced melon, and peeled carrots sitting in the refrigerated section of the grocery store. Back in the 1990s, supermarkets realized they could sell pure convenience to busy shoppers by doing the prep work for them. Behind the scenes, stores have to pay workers or buy special machines to wash, peel, chop, and seal the food in heavy plastic. That extra labor and packaging get added straight to the price tag. The result is a massive retail markup. When you compare the price per pound, the difference is huge. A whole onion might cost a fraction of the diced version. Retail markups on pre-cut fruits and vegetables routinely hit 300 to almost 400%. You are paying a giant premium just to have someone else hold a knife. That is why taking 5 extra minutes at home to wash and chop your own whole produce still matters. It keeps hundreds of dollars in your pocket over a single year. Extended appliance warranties. An extended warranty is an extra service contract you buy at the cash register to cover repairs after the regular manufacturer guarantee ends. Back in the 1980s and 1990s, big box retailers started pushing these plans hard to boost their own profit margins. When you buy a $50 coffee maker today, the cashier might offer a $15 protection plan. The process relies on your fear that the machine will break. But most factory defects actually show up in the first year, which the free manufacturer warranty already covers. The visible effect of buying these plans just drains your wallet. If your toaster breaks in year 3, the extended warranty might fix it, but you already paid a huge chunk of a new toaster's price just for the contract itself. Retailers keep over half of that fee as pure profit. This matters today because understanding the math saves you money. Skipping the warranty and saving that cash makes much more sense when buying a brand new replacement is so cheap. Laundry detergent pods. These are small, water-soluble pouches filled with highly concentrated laundry soap. Introduced around 2012 to make laundry day faster, they eliminate the need to pour and measure out sticky liquids or messy powders. You just toss a squishy packet into the washer drum and hit start. But that convenience comes with a specific catch. Pods lock you into a fixed amount of detergent every single time. If you only need to wash a few shirts, you still have to use an entire pod. This leads to overwashing and a lot of wasted money. On average, a single pod costs about 25 to 30 cents per load. Traditional liquid or powder detergent drops that price down to around 15 cents or less per load. You end up paying nearly double just to skip the measuring cup. This still matters today because as household expenses climb, paying a premium for a pre-measured pouch silently drains your budget without actually getting your clothes any cleaner. Bottled water cases. Buying massive packs of single-use plastic water bottles for everyday drinking at home is a widespread modern habit. Back in the late 90s, beverage companies convinced us that we needed our water packaged in convenient plastic to be healthy. So you go to the store, heave a heavy 30-pack into your cart, drag it to your car, and haul it into your kitchen. You drink a bottle, toss the plastic in the bin, and repeat. This routine silently drains your bank account. A typical case of bottled water costs about $6. If you rely on this for all your daily hydration, you easily spend hundreds of dollars a year on water that often just comes from a municipal supply anyway. A good pitcher filter or a simple attachment for your kitchen sink gives you the exact same purified water for about 5 cents a gallon. Making the switch saves you a massive amount of money over the years and stops empty bottles from piling up in landfills. Aesthetic organizational bins. These are the perfectly matched, usually clear acrylic containers you see all over social media, holding pasta, cereal, and snacks. Around 2020, popular home makeover shows turned pantry organization into a massive internet trend. People started taking food out of perfectly good cardboard boxes just to pour it into clear plastic. The main job of these bins is to create a uniform, visually pleasing grid in your pantry or fridge. You buy dozens of identical containers, throw away the original packaging, and line them up on your shelves. The visible effect is a pantry that looks like a high-end grocery store display, but achieving this look routinely costs hundreds of dollars in plastic containers alone. You do not need to spend huge amounts of money to have a tidy kitchen. Simple dollar store baskets or repurposed glass jars do the exact same job. What really matters today is knowing what food you have and finding it easily, not perfectly matching the expensive plastic it sits in. Cheap vacuum cleaners. They are the lightweight, all-plastic machines you find on the bottom shelf of big box stores. Decades ago, families bought heavy metal vacuums meant to last a lifetime. But today, companies pump out budget models designed for quick sales. Here is how the math plays out. You spend $60 on a basic bagless model. It sweeps your floors for a while, but fine dust quickly clogs the cheap filters and strains the unsealed motor. Within 12 to 18 months, the plastic hose cracks or the motor simply burns out. Fixing it costs more than the machine is worth, so you toss it. Over 10 years, you buy 8 of these, spending nearly $500. The visible result is mountains of plastic electronic waste piling up in landfills, plus floors that never actually get completely clean. Buying a solid modular vacuum for $300 changes that. You just replace simple parts as they wear out. It saves you money over a decade and keeps useless plastic out of the ground.